Hello, hello. Welcome to Beyond ADHD, a physician's perspective. I am Dr. Diana Mercado Marmaraj. I'm a family medicine physician practicing in rural Texas. I used to be hindered by my ADHD, but I now see it as a gift that helps me show up as the person I was always meant to be, both in my work and in my personal life. In the past 2 years, I've come to realize that unlearning some of my beliefs and some of my habits were just as important as learning the new set of skills.
So today, what I would love to talk to you is about how to implement 3 simple tools to help you opt out of overwhelm and tame your inner critic. As we all know, emotional dysregulation is a topic that is not talked about as much as it should. In the US, it is still not used as one of the main ways to be able to diagnose ADHD, but in Europe it is. So they're a little bit ahead of us, but we can still talk about emotional dysregulation and find ways to use these tools so we can regulate and we don't have to feel overwhelmed or anxious, or we don't have to engage in things that we normally wouldn't tell our bosses or our relationship people, right? We wouldn't tell them this, but yet somehow we always tell ourselves certain things. So the first tool that I want to talk to you about is awareness. We don't have that 2-second delay in the amygdala that connects with the prefrontal cortex. Whenever we receive information, we can sometimes get overwhelmed and feel nervous or feel like we overreact to things, right? And so having the awareness that we don't have this 2-second delay can help us to understand ourselves and not engage in this self-blame of like, oh my God, I did it again. I overreacted. I look like a fool. You know, that awareness in itself can help us to realize that we're unique in the sense that we are the only human beings that have this capacity to think about our thinking, to realize that, you know, we don't have to continue doing things a certain way, right? So that's a good and a bad thing, because it gives you that insight. And then now, what is your next step? So emotions are not good or bad. I want you to see emotions as a way to give you clues and cues. Emotions should be used as a compass. They should be looked at as what is this trying to tell me? Like, what is it trying to teach me? Maybe I need food. Maybe I haven't slept enough. Maybe I'm just feeling like there's too many things coming at once, right? So emotions should not be good or bad. I like to use the word effective or ineffective. Some emotions gear us towards something, and some emotions sometimes cause us to avoid things, right? So that could explain why things that make us feel good, we want to do more of, right? Like if we like to dance, if we like to hang out with our friends, or if we like to travel, whatever it is that we like, we might do more, right? Now, things that we don't like we want to avoid, right? So maybe we don't want to do a presentation. Maybe we don't want to do a project. Maybe we don't want to complete our notes. Why? Because we think that they're going to be painful, and nobody wants to be like, ooh, please sign me up for more pain. So again, the awareness that we don't have that 2-second delay in the amygdala can be life-changing, because you can gift yourself the gift of creating that 2-second pause. Just 2 seconds so that you can catch up with what your next step would be. Emotions, if you think about them, they're helpful. If we name them, we can tame them, right? And so it's so important to talk about emotions, because if you think about it, everything we have ever done has been because of emotion. Like, why did we decide to go to school? Probably because we wanted better opportunities for ourselves. Why did we decide to marry somebody? Probably because we thought we wanted to feel love and have companionship. Why do we buy that car? Why do we buy that house? Okay, emotions, I'm telling you, can lead us towards something or can lead us away from something. So that's the first tool. Create yourself a pause. The second tool is changing your environment. We want to create or have tools or exposure that can help self-regulate actions. What do I mean? Okay. We want to refocus our attention away from whatever just triggered us. We want to go from being like hopeless, right, to empowered. How do we do that? We change our environment. We can do things like self-soothing, like hugging yourself, just for like 5, 10, 20 seconds. Like, you'd be surprised how much that can help tame our over adrenaline drive that happens whenever we think that, we are being attacked. Remember, we have a 6,000-year-old brain, and it's not able to perceive that whatever is out there is not really out to kill us. And so it reacts in a second. It's unconscious, right? But then when you realize that that's not really the thing, you can calm down. So if you change the environment, either by, like I just said, soothing, or taking a walk, or exercising, or turning on music, you give yourself that tool to not ignore per se what you're going through, but again, create that pause so that you can process and come back to what you want to do. So really, doing this is so important. Did you know that children the third tool is a community. You need a community. You need to create the systems that are going to help you implement what you're trying to do. And this is through coaching, this is through therapy. The more that you are in an environment, the better that you feel. So my final thoughts are, when we think of emotional dysregulation, we feel like we don't have control. And that could be the case because I just explained to you, we don't have that 2-second delay. But if you create safety nets around it, if you ask for a pause, have a keyword, plan ahead of time how you're going to react to something, then you're going to rewire your brain so that it's not so noticeable, so that you don't feel like you don't have any control, so that you don't have to feel like you're a victim to overwhelm and you're not showing up as how you want to be. So learn to use emotions as clues, as a compass. And if you're a parent, join a community where you have other parents who have ADHD themselves or have kids with ADHD so that you could share tips with each other. Being in a community where whatever you're going through is normalized and then tools are implemented is the most amazing gift you can give yourself. Coaching, therapy can do that. There are some meds that can help take the edge off of this emotional dysregulation, such as clonidine and guanfacine. But of course, check with your doctor to see if this would be something you can use. But really, it is the behavioral aspect of it. It is you dancing, you tapping, you laughing that can make a difference. You know, think of yourself, all adults become eventually 2-year-olds if we don't get what we want in the moment, right? And sometimes when we don't get what we want, it could be due to different things. Maybe we're misinterpreting the cue, or maybe there was a change in task initiation or task interruption, right? So next time that you are feeling overwhelmed, know that you have 3 tools at your disposal. Know that you have the awareness that you can think about your thinking. You can see emotions as a vibration in our body, that they're not going to hinder you in any way. Know that you can use breath to relax, to bring you out of that unconsciousness thing that is being activated in the primitive part of the brain to the conscious thing where you are choosing to change your environment and join a community that can help you to not just talk about things, but really implement it, because it's in repetition that things get done. We create habits, and then the habits and routines create our life. So remember, you are the CEO of your life. You can do this. If you would like to reach out to me, please reach me at ADHDlifecoach.com. I would love to come support your community, either through speaking, through coaching, anything that I can do to help you realize that you have tools to help you create the best part of your life.